Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to this another monthly update. It is November. My God, it is so far into the year. I actually can't believe it. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can't, just put it in the chat. But it's exciting. It is almost the end of the year. Another year of cross paths stuff has happened. It's been really, really crazy. Big games, big projects, and a lot of work has been sort of going into it. I will cover the entire year in summary next month. I think it'll be good to sort of see how the year has gone. But today, I would like to cover off the updates for Ashes, Bramble Trek 2, Comes of Midnight, Draconin, and Throne of Luster. So, with that said, we'll begin with, we'll do it in alphabetical order. I think that will be quite easy. And then I can maybe mark each one inside the VOD. So, Ashes. I know some of you have been waiting to know what's been going on with the production side of things. Where are we at with that? So I'm very excited to tell you today that we are looking good with it. I can share a bit more detail in a second when I've got everything up, but okay, here we go. So I have received today almost everything for the project except for the wooden box, the book, and Norix Journal. The book, because it's still currently work in progress, I've still got a few edits to make before I can say it's done. Norix Journal is still being written. It is a bigger part of the project than I initially thought, but it's mostly the artwork that is we're working on that is going to take the longest time for that. And then we have also, working on the box itself, so the wooden box that everyone gets, who ordered the sort of deluxe collector's edition. That one is also being worked on at the minute. So I can quickly sort of open this and I can show you. Okay, so there's that. So here is a quick look at some of the bits and bobs. So these are the minis that we had made for the campaign. So you can see you've got the Embolden, the Ordained, the Hollow, and then the Pioneer. They are absolutely beautiful, really nicely detailed, actually just gorgeous. So really excited for those of you who bought that during the Ashes campaign to receive them. As you also noticed there, you can see the little tokens. First time we ever did glass tokens for a campaign. Oh God, this is going to be a huge image. So just bear with it while it loads. But actually, you know what? I can just switch over to here. Yeah, so you can see Ashes is a solo RPG. It is not designed for a group. It is solo only, journaling RPG. So you can see the 13 creature types and then the 12 bosses. And then, as you saw earlier as well, we've got the character class or the Scion tokens as well. So yeah, really good stuff. It's coming out great. Everything looks absolutely phenomenal. This is the map. We had a lot of feedback during Bramble Trek. Oh, the map that we received, it can't be read. So I'm really pleased to say that the quality of this map is just absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, the image doesn't do it much justice, but as you can see, it is very, very readable. So it is still A4, sorry, much like the others. But yeah, it is just way more readable than the one we did for Bramble Trek. So yeah, really excited for the people who receive this to get that. Other stuff as well, the cards have come in. The cards are absolutely beautiful. They are just so pretty. They just look absolutely phenomenal. And I'm really excited to showcase that with you guys as well. So I've got it here. The deck of cards, it is very, very nice. It's really smooth as well. We know that people wanted to make sure that the deck of cards are also quite nice to sort of flick through and use. Quite thick too, so they're not going to just you know, like die after you shuffle them a few times. They will last for a long time. The back of the cards are beautiful. Yeah, I mean, overall, very nice deck of cards. Really excited for that. Not wearing my white gloves. I've given up on that. No, I don't know where they are. I've put them away and I have no idea where I've put them. So yeah, really exciting side for that, which has come back. This is the metal die that we're going to do for Ashes. So I've got a photo here. As you can see, it is got metal dragons on there. It's meant to represent Xerxes, the Night Father. So yeah, you'll get 3 of these. We only received 1 for the sample, but you will receive 3 dice during the camp when you receive the product. And then, as you can see in the back as well, we've got the coin, which I've got here. So that is the collector's coin that we received and gave away with the campaign. So really good stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to go over. We've got some really cool stuff with the mat as well here. You can sort of see the playmat is just beautiful, really thick, stitched beautifully on each side, and is basically perfect. As I've already shown you, the minis, gorgeous. And then we've got the journal as well. As you can see, the journal is just absolutely beautiful, and we are really excited to get this over to you when the campaign is finally ready to ship. As I say, these are pre-production samples. They are not the final product. Things are subject to change between now and when we start full production, but we have essentially been at a point where we're happy with what we're seeing. We're giving feedback. We're just trying to make it as perfect as we can, because once we go to mass production, we can't change a single thing. So we're taking extra time to be vigilant on what it is that we want from this. So for example, how's the printing inside the journal? Are the lines actually big enough for you to write on, etc., etc. So really exciting stuff. As you can see, there's the box for the deck of cards. So that is Ashes. You know, not huge in terms of content, but actually seeing the product in real life, it is just an immense feeling. This game has taken a while to get together. Obviously, the biggest reason for that is I started again. I cleared everything I'd written and I started from scratch, which is why the layout is completely different to what it used to be. You know, it's come by really nicely in terms of its design. I don't know if you've seen, but if you haven't taken a look at that, I will show you. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. Right. Okay. Okay. Are we back? No. Okay, wait, back. Cool. There. I just got a text. They're doing work on my street today. So they have wiped out my internet, and then they're, you know, it is not great, but it is what it is. I'm hoping it's fine. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Right. Cool. All right. So, what I was saying was basically, yeah, I had to do a lot of work to get the game back up to where it needs to be. So this was the original layout for the game. You can see it's very basic ideas. It was not something that was essentially the main focus for my game design. The layout was secondary to me, to be completely honest. And then when I was looking at other games, it was really when I sort of pushed myself to try and learn a bit more about layout. And my art director was very vigilant on what we need to be focusing on, which is pretty books to open up at cons. I decided, okay, I'm not going to do the Brambletrek layout and then just convert it into something like this. I'm going to start again from scratch. So I deleted everything I did, started again. And so this page where the introduction is, all of this was changed to this. Character creation got updated to this. Stats and details got updated to this. So you can see how it just took me a while to get that to a stage where it needed to be. So the dev time that I had to essentially be started again because I couldn't just copy and paste things. Layout requires so much more effort than just copy and pasting. I needed to make sure everything was still working. So that's why Ashes has taken as long as it has. But I am so proud of the book as it is now. Could not be happier with the way it functions and the way it looks. So I'm really excited for people to get this in their hands. And I think it was time well spent. It's always going to be a good thing. So really excited for that. Sorry, not to push too much on Ashes, but yeah, so that's Ashes. Really exciting stuff. I am just really happy with the way it's come out, and I can't wait to share the final stuff as I get things delivered. So yeah, really excited. Right, then we move on to Brambletrek 2. So Brambletrek 2 is, well, it's obviously out. You guys can play it now if you have backed the project, and pre-orders are currently also open. But if you're curious about the starter set, I am now working on the House Mouse rules. It took me a bit to try and figure out what mechanics I wanted to implement, but I am currently writing the rules for the House Mouse and the full table rules for Brambletrek. I am still deciding on what the resolution mechanics look like. Currently, it still uses a deck of cards, but I am potentially thinking about including a different resolution thing just to make the game a bit easier to run. Because drawing cards is great, but then there are other ways to implement this. So yeah, there's going to be something, a bit of a change for Brambletrek, I think. Maybe bridging that gap between what it means to be a solo game with a deck of cards, but then a game that is easy for families and groups to play. So yeah, I can't promise any sort of news on that right this second because I'm still working on it, but really excited for that. So there have been a few changes on the artwork side. So let me showcase this. Let's see if I can grab it. So, as some of you remember, last month we had Brambletrek Day, and we announced the new designs for some of the Norborn. So here are the redesigns for the Norborn, which are going to be on the Brambletrek starter set deck of cards. So really exciting stuff. You can see we've got the Seeker, we've got the Storyteller, the Soother, the Snacker, the Sneaker, and then we've obviously reshown the Seeker over here, got the Scrapper, and then the Soother of the original design. And obviously some of you might be wondering, who's this little one over here? Who is that? I wish I could tell you right now who it was. So I might leave that for speculation at the moment. But yeah, Brambletrek 2 is done. So obviously I'm currently working on Brambletrek starter set. It is something I'm putting a lot of time into. I just need to make sure the resolution mechanics function at a table because the game wasn't designed for that originally. It was always meant to be solo, but I'm really happy to be pushing the system a bit more. So remember, Brambletrek never has any names that begin with something other than an S and end with an ER. Every single class or legacy in Brambletrek starts with an S, ends with an ER. So we've got Seeker, Storyteller, Soother, Snacker, Sneaker, Scrapper, Seer, every single one. I put myself into that, and I just think it's really fun to actually implement that across the board. So just keep that in mind when you're considering who it is. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Perfect. Has anyone figured it out yet? Give you guys a minute to come up with some names. Okay. All right. So I'm going to imagine no one has figured it out. So I'm very pleased to say that this is the Snuggler. They are the hug-focused sort of legacy. Their whole thing is just hugging the enemies and basically just making them sort of like happy enough to stop battling. So there are two variants. So one of these is going to be the sort of custom legacy artwork that we're going to use on Alchemy. The other one is the one that will be in the book. I haven't decided which one's which, but here is a look at the other Snuggler design. Here he is. So that is the other Snuggler. Very cute. So yeah, as I say, there is a lot to get excited by for Bramble Trek 2 and Bramble Trek's starter set. Really, really pleased to announce a few things at this point. So next month, there will be something released for Bramble Trek 2. I am currently working on it, but I'd like to announce it today because I think it's useful. So here you are. I am very pleased to announce the first Bramble Trek 2 expansion. There they are. Shit. Let me zoom out so you can get the full experience. Loop that video. There you go. Is my internet about to die? It better not. So there you go. Have a look at that. So that is the first expansion to Bramble Trek 2, 100 Acre Woods. It will be exclusive to the backers who back that game and anyone who pre-orders it as well. It is the, I remember what I named it. Let me see if I can find it. Aha, here we are.
Bramble Trek, Tales in 100 Acre Woods, Mystery of the Pie Thief. So, someone has been stealing Kanga's pies, and Rue has asked for your help, alongside Pooh and Tigger. Like, I just don't get it. They've decided, right, I'm going to be doing some work on your internet today. They did it today, of all days. So, yeah, like, I just don't understand it. They hate me. They really do. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway. No, everyone will get it. If you bought the books, you will get it, regardless of where you bought it from. So, yeah, wouldn't worry about that too much. So, there we go. What is going on with my mic now? Let's see. Properties. Nope, that's correct. Bear with me. Let's see. Audio. Blah, blah, blah. Can you hear me? Nope. Right. How about... Does that sound better? Try that. No? Okay. Right, let's try that one. Infinitely worse. Okay. Fair play. Fair play. Huh. Interesting. Let's try turning up the gain a bit. I don't even know what happened there. The internet just died and then... Okay. Cool. We good? We good? Can you hear me? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Right. Good? Perfect. Okay, so, yes. Mystery of the Pie Thief. New Bramble Trek adventure for Bramble Trek 2 will be released alongside the book via DriveThruRPG. You'll receive it next month. I haven't got a set date just yet, but it is going to be happening next month. So really exciting stuff there. The other thing I'm really excited to show you as well is the first look at the box set artwork for Bramble Trek starter set. Here it is. This is the artwork that will be on the box for Bramble Trek's starter set. So really exciting stuff. Obviously it's a group game, that's why there's 4 Norborn on there. And yeah, it's just gonna be a really nice little, you know, like a box to put together. So it's gonna be really cute as well on a shelf. So yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, the box set is just gonna be absolutely beautiful. So yeah, can't wait. So that's really all with Bramble Trek I have to share today. Because Bramble Trek is, yeah, just sort of slowly working in the background. It's just going to take me a minute, but I'm working on it. Do not fret. You will get the starter set relatively soon. I can't speak to exactly when that will be, but it will happen over the next couple of months. So, yeah, I'll keep you up to date as we go. So, yeah, really exciting stuff. Brand new artwork is obviously always great, so really excited to share both of that with you. So, Covens of Midnight. We have just sort of, last month we had our samples received. We had some issues with the sample itself, so we wanted to go back to our manufacturer and say, hey, can you fix these? And then get some new samples sent over. There were multiple events that happened this month, so there isn't actually much to update on for Covens this month. We are just waiting for the second round of samples to come in, and once we've got them, we will be sending out updates for you guys, letting you know what changes have been made and how we're looking for shipping. So if you missed any of the previous updates, I will showcase exactly what the Covens sort of sample set looks like. Okay. So we revealed these last month, but yes, the core rulebook and the art book are in-house and they look fantastic. There's just some issues that we need to fix because I don't believe it's worth sending out something that is not perfect. So yeah, it's just going to be little tweaks here and there, and then we'll get that over to you. So that is Covens. Yeah, not much to update on until we hear back from our manufacturers, but we are speaking to them every week, just trying to get updates on where things are at. And as we get new information, we'll send it out to you as soon as we can. So yeah, really exciting stuff. Great. So with that said, I'll do Throne of Luster because there's a big stuff for Draconim I want to do near the end. So, sorry. Throne of Luster is going really well. I am going to showcase this to you now. So to answer your question, Blackstorm, yes, no matter where you got Bramble Trek 2, you will get the expansion alongside your DriveThruRPG version of the book. So, Throne of Luster, card decks. They are been sent off for sampling. Real exciting stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to get these samples in-house and have a look at them. The card deck is absolutely beautiful, and it's just going to be absolutely phenomenal. Draconim will be coming after this because I can quickly go over Throne of Luster. Ebooks have been sent out to everyone, which is just phenomenal in terms of its sort of feedback. I have loved what everyone has been thinking about it. The book is absolutely beautiful, and I am so happy that you guys can get excited by it as well. And yeah, so sampling for Throne of Luster has sort of like, you know, started, I guess. We're doing the prepping the production sampling at the minute. So we're getting the files ready to send off to then get samples in. Obviously, we're trying to get stuff in from China, so shipping times are a bit extended. But we're just waiting for all of that to clear up and then get everything in-house as well. So just to recap, Throne of Luster, we have finished the card deck. Every single piece of the card deck has been hand-drawn, and we are sending the files off to production sampling. We don't know how long it's going to take to get it into the studio, but when we do, we'll let you know. So yeah, really exciting stuff there. Is that true for the other campaigns? Covens had expansions, didn't it? Yeah, so for Covens, they're not separate files. They're inside the book. So if you look at the back of Covens, you'll find the three expansions that Covens had. So the Secrets of the Eldertide, Tales from the Curious Cabinet, and then the third one, which was The Dance of the Pumpkin Queen. All of them are included in the book. They are not separate files. So do not fret if you don't get separate files with expansions. They are all inside one book. The same will be true for Bramble Trek 2. The same is true for Bramble Trek. The same will be true for Ashes with any expansions that it gets as well. They are just added to the book. So yeah, that is Throne of Luster. That is Ashes, Covens of Midnight, and Bramble Trek 2. So we get on to Draconim. Really exciting stuff. It's going to be a great little update. There's not much, though, in terms of content update. I just want to warn everyone. So let me pull up my version of the book. So today, version 0.6 will be released. I'm really excited to say that. I am, really excited for the book to be in your hands and stuff. What do you mean, live stream dragon? Adding dungeons? Oh, do you mean like as in Dungeons and Dragons? So 0.6 will be releasing later today. It is, the 6th update to Draconim since I made the playtest live. We will be going to go into sort of like a new territory with this. So a few changes I want to go over quickly because I think it's important. Beep, beep, beep. So version 0.6. I have added some new rules. There is now a rule for difficulty. You can now choose between two versions of calling for a check. You have targeted checks and freeform checks. When I play the game, when I run the game, I sometimes forget to ask for a difficulty or to say, hey, give me a D3 check. Sometimes I forget to do that. And usually it never actually matters in the context of the game. I don't need to know what they rolled in terms of successes versus my difficulty. But sometimes there are situations where a player might need a check that is more skill-based. So time pressure, a difficulty in terms of skill checks, and etc. You've got the targeted check. That's where you apply difficulty. Freeform checks are just a question of how well someone does it, not whether or not they can do it. So, for example, this one here is you roll Mind plus World to search for ledgers inside the room. Each success that you get leads to another clue. That gives you more as a herald to use for the successes without feeling like, oh, okay, you guys failed this check. They don't need to fail. They'll pass if they get one singular success. You just can increase the degrees of success based on the number of successes they get, right? So the more successes, the better something is. It's a really clean way to function into your game, how to manage checks between skill versus just routine. You know, a player who is picking a lock, that is going to have a difficulty because it requires some level of skill. But if they are trying to canvas an area, they don't need to make a check to succeed on that. They can just do it, but the more successes they get, the more information you as a herald can provide to them. Bargaining is also another one. For example, you bargain with a shopkeep. The more successes you get, the better the discount. You're not trying to target a success difficulty whether or not they do it. You're just trying to see how well you can convince them. Obviously, you can still fail, but suddenly you have degrees of success above just pass and failure. So it creates a really nice holistic system between the two types of checks. It doesn't actually change much for you as a herald. You just run things a little differently. That's really it. For a player, nothing changes. They still roll the dice as it is. It just changes for you as a herald slightly. Your themes of thinking update a bit. So really exciting stuff there. Next change I am very excited to showcase is the change to defense. So defense was one of those things that players felt they didn't have a lot, but when they were sort of like lower level, they were dodging a lot of attacks. But as soon as they got to higher levels, if they weren't buying new equipment, their like defense didn't scale with levels. So what I've done, and someone in the community also mentioned it, literally after I put it in as well, which is just amazing to me. But defense slots now are your armor plus your primary attribute, just flat, no halving there, plus half your current level, which means it will scale with your level because it's rounded up. And then your primary attribute will go up as well as you level up. So suddenly it's going to scale a lot nicer across the board. So you're going to have a lot more to be able to defend with. The next change is to Dragon Defense. It uses the exact same formula, which means that you're not having to have two different types of maths across the creatures. So you and your dragon will have the exact same, processes to calculating your defense. But dragons still can get fatigue. I haven't removed that. Dragons will refresh their defense slots the same as a player. So they will refresh at the start of a hero round every time, just like a player does. But if a dragon ever reaches 0 defense, it will refuse to protect against anything further during that combat encounter. So this prevents you from using your dragon as a shield. Essentially, you can't just keep having attacks hit your dragon. They will get upset. They will stop defending if they have to, because they're not just going to die for you like this. You're essentially using them. They don't like being used. So it allows the RP to really, really play into defense as well. If you keep stopping an attack with your dragon keeps defending for you, and you're essentially forcing it to do this again and again and again. If it reaches 0 at any point, it stops defending for that combat encounter. And you now have to decide how you're going to manage your own defense, which is a nice way to make it so your dragon isn't the most powerful thing on the battlefield, because if they reach 0, that's it, they're out. Obviously, you can try and like go, oh, well, I might just do to 1. I'll keep it really low. I'll make sure I always have 1 in my thing. But suddenly, your dragon isn't so powerful because you have to keep trying to defend it down to stay at 1. So, do you see what I mean? Like it actually balances it out nicely. So I'm really excited by that. Okay. So that's a big change. That's another one. Cool. Character parts. Let me go to the Oathbinder. So the Oathbinder got a change as well. Small change, but Resonant Memory is no longer what it used to be. Now it is a action where you can call your bound weapon back no matter its distance. But you must decide on a trigger. Click your fingers, speak a word. And the weapon does not teleport, but travels all the way back through barriers that may be in its way. Think Thor, Mjolnir. That's the idea. You can call your weapon back no matter where it is, because it's bound to you and you only. So it allows for some nice RP situations with that as well. Yeah. I might add one in that says enemies cannot wield your weapon, but I haven't decided on that yet. So yeah, it doesn't it doesn't destroy them. Like for example, if it's stuck in a building, it will like keep pushing until it gets through it. It's not going to instantly destroy it. It's not invincible. What it is though is going to do its best to get back to you how it can. So for example, like That's up to you, actually. To be fair, that's up to you, Harold. I'm not going to make that decision for you. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, one more update for Draconim. Really excited to say there is a completely new rule that has been added in that I tested out with my players yesterday. But I am very pleased to announce wild perks. What is a wild perk, you ask? So, wild perks are one-time use abilities that a herald can grant your players. So, for example, you do something so cool, everyone at the table gets so excited by it, it is a huge legendary moment that a hero point just will not do justice by handing one out. It is something that you as a player go, I did this thing, I'm so excited about it, and everyone at the table is so excited alongside me. The herald should hand out a wild perk for you at that point. Obviously, discuss this with your table, decide on how you want to use these. I've written a rule of thumb. If everybody reacts, the moment deserves a wild perk. I have created 50 different perks so that you can immediately start using them at your table. There are some really cool ones. The people in my Monday game, you might notice that the names are completely different. I basically went for tarot name styling. So you've got like the Aegis, the Answer, the Anvil, the Bargain, the Beacon, the Bond, the Brand, the Bulwark, the Charioteer, the Chorus, the Coin, the Comet, the Dancer, the Dice, the Dragon, the End, the Gate, the Ghost, blah, blah, blah. Right. Really cool stuff, though. So, for example, you might do something really cool and your herald hands you the Phoenix. If you are downed, immediately awaken with the following wounds marked. 2 heavy, 3 deadly. So you die, but you come back up only with those wounds marked. You can then get maybe the Recollection, which says add 3 dice to your next roll. Potentially you might get the Hourglass. After a roll is revealed, add 2 successes to that roll. Like, these are instantaneous, one-time uses, and as soon as you use them, they disappear. So they're really powerful, but they're not going to keep coming back, for example. So you've got the Wheel. Change the Shadow Die result up or down by 1 tier. So a disaster can now be a complication can be an opportunity, or an opportunity can be a miracle. Why you would ever go down is beyond me, but it's an option there for you if you want it. These are really, really fun to run. I ran it in a solo session. I handed myself one. What I did, I even recommend it in here, is I recommend that you guys create cards, print them out, and then put them in sleeves and then shuffle up. Then, when your players are going to do it, hand one out after you've shuffled. And then once they have used it, put it back in your deck. And that way you've got it as a herald to always use. So I printed some out, and I've got them in sleeves, and I just shuffled up when I was playing solo. When I did something that I found really interesting or wrote a really cool moment, I drew one of the wild perks and then added it to my sheet so that I could use it later. And then once I'd used it, put it back in the deck, ready to go for a later situation. Really cool way to implement that into your table without needing to worry too much about balance. Like I say right here, they are not balanced for fairness. They're balanced for fun. When you are designing a wild perk, just think about the way that I would think about it is this going to be really fun for that player, or am I just doing it for balance reasons? You want them to go, I'm going to use this in a dire situation. They should want to use it. So make it as fun as you can. Yeah, this is a huge, huge thing for the game. I'm really excited to see what people come up with for the system alongside this. It is going to be absolutely fantastic to witness. So yeah. So that is everything for version 0.6. We've gone through the difficulty changes, we've gone through the new mechanics, the defense slot change, and the resonant memory change for the Oathbinder. And that is everything. You know, there's a lot that has sort of gone on this month. I've been working really hard on the different areas. The art team has been absolutely killing it with the stuff that they've been doing as well. And we're really excited about the production cycle of things happening as well. I just am beyond excited to showcase everything with you guys over the next couple of months. You know, obviously there have been issues with the tariffs that have really put a halt on the way that we would work things, like um, things that we had planned didn't go according to plan because of the tariffs. There was even a point where the manufacturers were just not taking on new projects because of the tariff situation. So we had to make decisions, and obviously, as you know, we changed our manufacturer partway through for Comes the Midnight, which actually required us to start again with files because different manufacturers use different production file types and filing systems and whatever. So we couldn't just send them what we had for another group. We had to make it again and then send it all off. It's been difficult. I'm going to be completely honest. It has not been easy, but we pushed through. We're doing really great. Like everything is. I'm very happy. So it means that I can focus on titles like Bramble Trick, Starter Set, Draconim, and work on something else as well, which I can't tell you about just yet, but I'm really excited. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a really nice month, and I think November is going to be even better. I am having an absolute blast running Draconim. Played it yesterday, and I still am thinking about everything that happened in that session. And next week, I've got some stuff I want to cover off for Draconim because we'll have 0.7 potentially coming out. There might not be many updates, but it'll be nice time to talk about things with Draconim and where it's at with Solo and the Herald's Guide. So yeah, really exciting stuff. And I'm also very excited to share one more thing with you, if you'd be interested to see. If my internet actually dies, I might scream. Oh no, my internet might actually be dead. I know you guys can still hear me, but I can't seem to load what I want to show you, so I might need a second. I'm gonna quickly disconnect and connect again. I can hear him working in front of my house. Okay, I think it should be alright. He better not be pulling out wires and stuff. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Right. Can you imagine? Okay, here we go. So, as you guys know, there are more monsters to be added to the Herald's Guide. And I am currently designing the new monsters. Because I'm trying to create some unique monsters for Azeroth so that they don't feel the same as other things. Obviously, we've got the Rift Behemoth, which is my version of the Trask. We've got the Shard Wolves, which are the most unique creature inside Draconim. But I wanted to add more sort of Azeroth-based creatures that you would only find in this world. So I'm really excited to showcase a new one with you today. Behold. I love this. I love this creature so much. Yeah, so they live in the what's it called? The mountains of Batazian. They very much sort of what's the word? Protect everything that they can within the environment. So their young are the most important thing to them. The females of the species are the most powerful between the two as well. So yeah, I'm very excited for them. What did I name them? Yes. The Dravona were the name that I gave them. It comes from the word Drava, which means to surge or to storm forth. So the idea is that they are storm-based, and they can call storms. They are powered by the storm. They live on the tops of mountains, and when you see lightning strike, it's usually searching for them. So yeah, really exciting stuff. And when they need to go into defense, wings come out, their tail pops up, and they can create sort of armored defense as well as they need. Their feathers can harden. So should you find a shield made of their feathers, that thing is going to be very, very powerful, and keep you very safe. So yeah, Dravona. Yeah, it was very exciting stuff. I'm eventually going to throw this at my Monday group to see what they think. I can't wait to see them die, but it's going to be great. Can't wait. So there's not really much else to sort of go over at this point with the Draconim stuff. I think like there's a lot that you're going to experience with the new version of the game. I am really excited for that side of things, and I just can't wait to see what else you guys come up with on your end, because at the end of the day, I really enjoy seeing how the community is coming together. So with that said, I will end it there today. We'll do another stream next week, and I might do some more later as well. But if you are in the Discord, keep an eye out for something coming at the end of this week. I'm really, really excited for this, and I cannot tell you anything about it, but oh man, I cannot wait for Friday. So keep an eye out, keep an eye on announcements, because something is coming, and the Discord will get involved. So with that said, I thank you all for coming. I thank you all for taking your time to sit with me today and talk about everything else. And a quick update for the people who backed Draconim as well. I obviously have given you a lot, but if you are a backer of Draconim, specifically, I am really excited to say, where is it? There we go. Surveys are now en route. So if you backed Draconim, check your emails. You will be receiving your survey today, where you can upgrade your pledge, add more stuff to your pledge, and just manage your pledge inside BackerKit. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you do it. You won't be charged shipping. You will also not see a shipping amount, because we are still talking to our shipping partners. We don't have any solid numbers just yet. The number that you find on the BackerKit page is the most accurate for right this second in time. I will be updating it should anything change, because I do not want to undercharge, because that puts us in a bad situation. I don't want to overcharge you, because I don't want to take any money away from people. I want to make sure I'm charging you the exact amounts that I get quoted, so that everyone is happy and there are no issues with fulfillment. Because I do not want to be in a situation where I am charging you guys like certain amounts of shipping, but then the shipping company hits you with a bill and saying you underpaid on your shipping. I don't want any of that. So we will be doing everything as and when, because I had this issue in the past, and I don't want it to ever happen again. So I thank you all for your patience with this. I thank you all for your support. Surveys for Draconim are now out, which also means, which I'm very excited to say, is if you've been thinking about getting Draconim and you're like, when can I get Draconim? Because it's not open yet. The pre-order store is now officially open. So I'll put a link in the Discord for anyone who's missed out. But the pre-order store for Draconim is now open. Due to the way that BackerKit do their pre-order stores, I cannot send you PDFs the moment you buy things, because I can't charge for shipping. There are just ways that I'll figure it out, and I will, help the way I can to get you your PDFs. But because I can't charge you for it immediately, there is just that disparity between sending you things. But do not fret. I'm looking up for a solution. I will find one. there's something that I will do, it is find a solution to this. And I'm really excited to also show you. Here is the Draconim coin. So obviously you can see that on the page itself it is gold. The gold one was not looking great, if I'm to be completely honest with you. It was very, what's the word? Very shiny, and it looked a little fake, if I'm to be honest. It looked very cheap. So we managed to get some changes made, and the coins are just absolutely beautiful. So those are the two sides. You've got the Sun Dragon side and then the sun, and yeah, really gorgeous. So I'll update the images to be more in line with this so that you can see it. But yeah, that's where that is at. Yeah, really exciting stuff. So with that said, I'll leave it there. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your support. If there's anything you need at all, please feel free to reach out to me on Discord, via email, whatever have you. I cannot wait to share more with you as we go. But pre-order stores are now open. Surveys have been sent out. Really excited to get all of that done. So I will leave it there. And yeah, catch you guys next week. Maybe this week. Who knows? But I'll see you in the Discord anyway. So thank you all. And I will see you later. Bye.